Hi there. Well, last year the nation was gripped by the BBC One series The Pact, which you might remember. It followed a group of friends around Wales bound by this promise, a promise to stay silent about their connections to an unexplained death. Well, tonight the drama is back for a second series, and it follows a social worker who has recently lost a child, and it's played by the BAFTA-winning actor Rakie Ayola. Let's take a look.
The police have found Connor.
They're at the quarry. They might have been there for hours.
What are we gonna do?
I will figure something out.
Christine! Oh my God. What do we do?
Put the kettle on, Jamie. Go on. Go and sit down. We don't know anything. The last time we saw Connor was at the wedding. Remember the story. Don't complicate it.
Christine, it's the police.
Your family now. Get in. We stick together. All right?
Oh, totally sombre Rakie on screen, completely different in the flesh. You look fantastic.
Do you know what? I saw you in your gorgeous fuchsia and I thought, I have to wear the Sabira orange. I have to. But my 13-year-old daughter will be furious.
Oh, I think you look fab.
Why are you even taking it, Mum?
Oh, no, you look great. You look great. Tell me, this is same programme, same sort of theme, I guess, but it's a totally different story and a totally different character for you. So tell us about that. How easy was it to step into a different role in a new series?
It was really easy because it was a completely different production. So in my head, it could have been another show with another name. I wasn't at all thinking about the first series, which wouldn't have been useful. The complicated thing was explaining it to crew who'd been on series 1. That was difficult, because the drivers would take me to work every day and say, so you're not the detective? And I'm like, no, I'm a social worker. How does that work then? I said, well, just think of it as a different show with the same name.
Okay.
If that helps.
Yeah, okay. No, that does make sense. It does make sense. So tell us about Christine. This is the social worker who's at the centre of this programme. What is she like to play? Who is she and what's she like to play?
She's a complicated woman. Pete McTighe, the writer, wrote someone with a lot of sides to her, which I loved. She's a mother. She's a fiercely protective mother who will do anything to look out for her children. And I think she makes choices that I wouldn't make. I recognise the desire to do the best for your children, but I think there are other ways to do it than the ways that she chooses. She's a very good social worker. She's good at her job, but she has a sort of quiet determination. So she doesn't look like a tiger mother on the surface, but in fact she's more of one than most obvious tiger mothers. And she doesn't always make the best choices, but she thinks they're the best at the time.
And another, I guess, parallel. You know, you said that you can kind of understand that as a mother. You were back in Wales, weren't you? And not too far when you were filming from where you grew up. What was that like? So
close to Ely, where I grew up. Ely's a massive. It was a council estate. I'm not sure what they call them now. And it's on the west side of Cardiff, and so we were filming from there going through to Port Talbot, so Barry, Penarth, the Vale of Glamorgan, which is beautiful. And it struck me that there is scenery and coastline and fields that I'd never walked in as a child. I thought, I don't ever remember seeing my parents climb over a fence in a field or step in a cowpat. And those kind of memories, I thought, I must make sure that my kids see me do that. You know what I mean? There must be a point where mum is in a cowpat or falls into a massive puddle in the middle of a field and stuff like that. But this beautiful, beautiful coastline that was 15, 20 minutes from my front door going up. But I like a lot of people who lived in those estates that were built around the outsides of cities, you always look into the middle. Or we're not that close to the middle. Instead of thinking, we're actually in the countryside here. But the countryside's always sort of behind you and you ignore it. And that's a real shame. It's so beautiful. I'm so glad that we filmed there.
Now, there are some people who will see this and they'll say that this is a woke version of a Welsh family. I can see you rolling your eyes. Tell me.
If anybody wants to say that to me, what I would say first is explain what you mean by woke, and then we can have the conversation. If you can't explain it, don't hand me that word. Don't use a word you cannot describe, because you don't know what you mean. Or maybe you know exactly what you mean and you're afraid to say what you mean. So let's have that conversation. Not even afraid, you daren't. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
Sit there and tell me what you mean by woke, and then we can talk about whether this show is woke or not, because then I will introduce you to a family just like this one. So are you saying they don't exist when they clearly do? Are you saying that they're not allowed to exist? What do you mean by that? Let's have a proper conversation. Don't throw words around willy-nilly when you're not afraid to say exactly what you mean. If you don't know, please be quiet, because you are incredibly boring.
Absolutely. Rakie telling us how it is. Rakie Ayola, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
I hope
you,
it goes
Victoria.
well. Thank you. The Pact is on BBC One at 9 o'clock tonight.